And as I said earlier, Yeshua did not come the first time to be heralded as the Messiah and live happily ever after. This is purely ignorance of the scripture. The King James Version of the Bible will always be my favorite English version, but I know that there are a lot of man-made artifacts that have been brought in, such as chapter and verse markings. There are no chapters and verses. This was originally a letter that was addressed to the 7 assemblies in Asia Minor, and it starts out with a man-made appendage, the Revelation of St. John the Divine. If there's anything that is wrong in this book, it starts out with this inaccuracy. The very first line, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave to him to show to his servants the things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent it and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. Now, in the chronological Gospels, I have corrected this, and that's why I call this the corrected King James Version of the Bible, because the King James Version has been corrected many times since 1611. As a matter of fact, 1611, there were 2 corrections that were done that very year, and so we have to understand that language has changed. And basically, if we're reading the King James Version of the Bible today, we are not reading the 1611, we're reading the 1769 version. But yet, these man-made artifacts are still in there. It's important that we understand that the book of Revelation is the one book, the one scroll, the one letter that was written by Yeshua to his servants. And so we're going to shed these conventions because we want to go right straight to what does the text say. And well, also, I'm going to, in the Revelation scroll, I'm going to be putting things in a little bit different order so that it reads more like a letter. Because we have from Yohanan, John, to the 7 congregations in Asia, and then they're enumerated. Whereas the addressees don't come until several verses down the line, but I felt that in communicating the story, I would best be able to do it to the modern reader by going after the modern way of doing things, and that is to address it to whom it is written and put that right up front. The scroll captures the beauty of the entire scroll. Because, again, the book of the Revelation was originally written as a scroll, and it was sent to the 7 assemblies in Asia Minor. So I want to take you on that journey with me as we read these very things. Now, this is the beauty of what we have now. In the British Royal Museum, we have the beginning of the book of the Revelation in Hebrew. And I have a photocopy of this that was given to me by my friend Nehemiah Gordon, who has been on the path of finding ancient Hebrew manuscripts of the Gospels as well as other things, and he came across this revelation in the book of Revelation in Hebrew. It says, as I have been saying for years, and I also call it in my book, the 5 Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Acts is part of the 4th Gospel. It's really part of Luke, the extension of that. And then the Revelation is the 5th Gospel. I said the book of the Revelation is good news to those who love his coming. is bad news to the rest of the world. But I did not know at the time that I was speaking this more than 20 years ago that in the Hebrew it literally says the good news of the revealing of Yeshua Messiah. That's what it says. It literally says in Hebrew that it is the good news, the gospel, the good news of the revealing of Yeshua as the Messiah. And as I said earlier, Yeshua did not come the first time to be heralded as the Messiah and live happily ever after. This is purely ignorance of the scripture. He came not as the Messiah, but as the prophet. And as we read, especially the Gospel of John, but all the Gospels tell us that the people, when he does miracles, when he raises the dead, such as the young man, the son of the widow at Nain, that when he raises that young man, the people were all declaring that the great prophet has risen among us. The great prophet.